and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Schultz. As we move through the bye, let's go ahead and look back at the post-game press conference from the loss in Munich this past weekend, starting with Marquise Goodwin, who talked about his diving touchdown.
Obviously, the coach called a perfect play at the perfect time. I think it was fourth down, so it was kind of like we needed it. We've repped that play a million times, and I don't think I've even gotten that ball on that play, even at practice. So I was, not really surprised, but I was just like, dang, the ball is in there. And it's a race to the sideline at that point, and 11 out of 11 times I'm going to win that. So shout out to Geno for the perfect ball, the O-line blocking, and Tyler, honestly, getting his guy underneath. So it was just one-on-one for me.
Now let's hear from the man who threw the pass, who talked about a crucial fumble he had earlier in the quarter.
It was a QB draw, and, tried to run it. Didn't work, and, sometimes it happens like that, but you got to protect the football most of all, and that didn't happen right there. I got the ball stripped from me, and I can't have that. I can't have that happen. I hurt the team.
Geno was also asked about the atrocious field conditions.
It was about what we expected. A soccer field. It's not going to be like what we're seeing at home, obviously. And so it wasn't that bad. You just had to put your screw-in cleats, your studs in, and, some longer spikes so that you can have better footing. But even though, even guys had them in, they still were slipping because of the surface. And so I don't think that played a part in what we were doing. I just think we needed to execute better.
And here were head coach Pete Carroll's comments on the field.
It was really, it was slick, I guess you could say. Everybody, both sides of the ball, I think in all positions it had some effect, but remember that it's the same, it's not a factor that anyone is, more behind it than it was just hard on everyone. And you could tell, and that was, I wish the field was firmer.
I think the topic is kind of on right now in fields in general, and we just like to keep getting better at it and understanding, how we can make the game safer and the game better in all ways. And that's not to say that it has to be natural turf versus artificial or whatever. I don't know. We just need to keep working at it. But it's really nice when it's uniformed, so I'm sure that they will pay. I know they paid attention. They talked about it when we were in London also. There was the same discussion.
Pete was asked if the team has thought about extending Geno and Drew Lock.
We're not there talking about that yet. We're in the middle of the season and we're doing the things we need to do. But there's a conversation that's coming. We understand that. We're really, really pleased with our guys. I think they've done a great job. Geno's having a fantastic season. He showed it again tonight. And we really like Drew also. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't have any updates for you on that.
Getting back to the game, let's now hear his general reflections following the loss.
This feels like a real opportunity missed. Coming here in this beautiful setting, all the build-up and everything that the game could have been, it was, and hype, and the fans were extraordinary, and everything was about this whole trip has been great. So the opportunity to win the game here would have been one to really cherish, and I'm sure that they will. They played a really good football game. Tampa Bay did what they wanted to do, and particularly early in the game, they were able to keep us off balance, and we have not been like that for a while, and so we had to regroup. Particularly, I don't think we converted a third down in the first half and didn't run the ball at all, and so we came back to mixing things and doing things right and getting some momentum, kind of a feel that was different. And so you could feel the comeback was happening. And that's exactly what we would expect from our guys and this team and the leadership of this team, and that we would get back in it. And we took it all the way till there was a couple plays that happened there I think early in the fourth quarter that changed it. They converted on we had Tom in the backfield. He gets out, throws the ball, and they make a big third down win. That there was a couple plays like that really changed the rhythm of the comeback that we were in. This, like I said, it's unfortunate. The team, we talked about how important it is to realize that we were right back in this game and that we weren't out of it, and we never thought that. And we didn't show that, and that is the same kind of mentality that's going to help us finish the season and do something special with this year. We don't think anything changes in that regard. And we just on this night, they did a better job than we did.
The biggest problem for the Seahawks on the day was their run defense.
They have not been running the ball very consistently, and so coming into the game, we were hoping that we could just keep it under wraps and be able to deploy for the throwing game. And they did better than we thought they would. And they finished running the ball in the fourth quarter, which kills me. That last drive, to not get the ball back and get our chance again, that's just not the way we expect to play or the way we ever want to, put it out there. So that's unfortunate. But give them credit. They mixed it well. I think the way that they mixed their play passes with Tom, as they've always done, it's nothing new. As we've seen it a million times, and that was really effective to keep us a little bit off balance in the run game.
Before we get into injuries, Carroll reflected on the team's overall experience in Germany.
Unforgettable occurrence to be in that stadium with them all connected like that. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously, I was respecting the fact they must have done this a lot because they were really good at it. And it is unforgettable, really, experience, and really feel lucky to have a chance to be here. I've never seen a crowd like this. I've never been in a stadium where a crowd was so much in unison and connected like they were. We've been in loud stadiums and really louder, maybe even, but never where everybody was. I don't know how do they do that. I don't know how they all sing exactly the same like that, but it was really a spectacle.
And here's Carroll's injury update on wide receiver D. Eskridge and linebacker Jordan Brooks.
D. Eskridge got hit. He got whacked on the hand. There's nothing broken. It blew up on him, so we couldn't get him back in the game. Jordan had cramps. He just cramped up from the hydration issue. So we're very fortunate coming out of the game.
On Tuesday, once the team was back stateside and had their normal audio engineers, Carroll touched on the timing of the Seahawks bye.
Well, it's coming at the time it comes. So we're going to frame it as it's the right time. We're going to, try to maximize this turnaround, because when you take a step back, perspectives can grow, and then we can see things a little more clearly, and the players will understand stuff. And for the young players, I think Kobe Bryant, we may be able to see him make a jump here in this little break that we have, just because once you get away from it, you can see a little more clearly. So that's one part of it. We go into this by fairly healthy. And so that means we can come out of it even better. And so that's a big, it could be a big boost to us as as other teams continue to struggle to stay healthy and all that. So hopefully we can make that come to life, and it just helps. It helps us in all ways. So we're gonna get clearer, and we'll come back fresh and ready to go.
Carroll also addressed why Bryan Mone was a healthy scratch on Sunday.
Yeah, he was a healthy scratch. Because we anticipated them throwing the ball out, we wanted to make sure that we were ready with backup. That could give us a little boost there, and the game didn't turn out that way.
And finally, Pete was asked if he thinks fans at Lumen Field should come up with their own song to sing at home games, kind of like the fans in Munich were singing Country Roads.
I don't want them they don't have to burden themselves with learning how to sing it in German or in some other language. We just need to sing in English. And but you all were there. There's something about that unified connection. It wasn't like, the people who wanted to sing, everybody sang, and they were roaring. And I don't know, there was just an emotional part of that's why they do it, and that's why they love their game. They love their following and all that. And this is part of the way they celebrate. And after the game's over, they're all still sitting there. And I think they were still singing. Did they not? I didn't hear, but I think they were still singing, and because they liked the experience of it. And I think our guys would have fun with it too. When we first got here and knew about the Sounders and all what they were doing and saw some of their celebration and watching their games, I thought, God, that'd be kind of fun. Why couldn't we be like that kind of a experience? Because I think the fans would love it. And if they saw it and they could feel it, I don't know how it translated, across the airways and all, but it was just fun. And so I just throw it out there. What the heck?
All right. Well, if I'm going to throw a suggestion out there, Country Roads is outdated. That's a song from the early 70s. I think we could move it up to, I don't know, late 90s. And if we want to tie it to Germany, we go with Lou Bega, who is from Germany. And I don't know if anybody remembers this. I mean, if you were alive in the late 90s, you remember Lou Bega's Mambo No. 5. I feel like the energy in the stadium could be pretty fun with a little Mambo No. 5. So that's my suggestion, throwing it out there. If you have any other suggestions, let's hear them. Moving on to statistical leaders from this game, looking at Geno Smith, completed 23 of 33 passes, 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, the leading receiver with 6 receptions, 71 yards. And on defense, Jordan Brooks all over the field, 14 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 pass defensed. That's going to do it for the show. Thanks to Wilson Kahn for helping to produce this episode. You can follow him out on Twitter at Wilson_Kahn, C-O-N-N. You can follow me out on Twitter at SeahawkersPod. Send me your song suggestions. I want to know. And hey, maybe we'll get into it too on this next episode when Adam and I recap the game, look ahead to the bye week. That's going to be coming up next. And so until then, go Hawks.